the big Monday night game with the Cowboys and Giants. What's your thought on that?
Yeah,
With the Giants at least.
yeah, I mean, both teams come into this, uh, you know, surprising in their own ways, right? The Cowboys obviously they lost the opener to the Bucks, and Dak gets injured. Everyone kind of thinks this team is, you know, not doesn't expect much from them. Their backup Cooper Rush comes in. They get a win against the Bengals team, which was surprising, where they just kind of got off to an early start. Joe Burrow couldn't get going against that defense, and they roll into MetLife against the Giants, and Giants 2-0 coming into this game, making some noise. People believing in them. They're going against a backup quarterback, and they just don't get the job done. This game was one that really could have went either
Either
way.
way.
It wasn't decided until late. There's a bunch of plays on both sides that could have swung this game all over. From the beginning, middle, and end of this game.
Right.
So yeah, I thought the Giants were going to be able to capitalize on the backup quarterback being at home, being hot, and getting a win here. They just couldn't get it done. Their offense was kind of up and down. Guys dropping passes. The Cowboys. Credit to their defense, they were able to come in and sack Daniel Jones a bunch of times and
Yeah.
really put pressure on him. I mean, really Daniel Jones looked best when he was just able to escape up the pocket and make a throw, and he was able to get some of those things to go good. Saquon obviously had a great run for a touchdown, 30-plus yarder, but the Cowboys proved to be a little too much. They were able to.
Their line was just incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
Dexter Lawrence, he was getting constant pressure. Micah
Hmm.
Parsons was getting constant pressure. I think, although the Giants were 2-0 and we were facing a backup quarterback, I think Giants fans have a lot to be positive about.
Yeah, I think really
You know,
both of these teams,
yeah,
right? 2-1 after this. Similar situations. I mean, obviously the Giants have a loss against a divisional opponent now,
right.
but both teams have things to be happy about, right? The Cowboys pick up another win. They get to kind of salvage some semblance of being able to get to the playoffs or having a winning season and keeping a shot at winning this division without Dak. And the Giants, they're 2-0, but they were 2-0 and they take the loss here. But being 2-1, I think if you could have asked any Giants fan if that was going to happen, they
They
would have
wouldn't
took it
guess
before
that.
this. They'll take that every day after the past few seasons they have.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it's like Dable's starting to make a shift in this culture. You can see that the Giants want to play for him. You can see that the Giants are fired up. They're playing till the snap or till the whistle blows. And then Daniel Jones, he did have the pick that kind of ended things, but the receiver slipped. There's a lot of drops. Daniel Jones was making throws on time. Again, it's just really unfortunate, especially with the receiving core. Sterling Shepard goes down with a non-contact injury. I think they just have to do something about that turf in MetLife. It's like they bring in billions of dollars and you can't even get grass to play on, and that turf is. I mean, the Niners game a few years ago, so many players got
Yeah.
injured that game, and continuously just players after players torn ACLs. Like,
I mean, I'll tell you this: the Giants, just in general. I mean, they built that stadium not too long ago. Still a relatively new stadium, right?
right,
And I don't know what they were doing. Like they put that stadium by the mall over there in Jersey. Uh, I mean, I've heard not great things about going to those games where you have to, pack 50,000 people through this tunnel to get to the
yeah,
to the parking lot.
it's
If you get there
crazy.
late, there's no shuttles and people have to walk and it's a mess to get out of there. And
Right,
so they didn't set it up right. The stadium, you see other teams that have new stadiums, SoFi and other places like that, state of the art stuff. The Raiders Stadium, the Giants kind of just slapped together a stadium. I mean, it's decent, it's not bad,
right.
but for a New York team that both New York teams use, a stadium that both New York teams use, you would think, they would put some more effort
More
in there.
effort
They you
into
could
it.
you could get more out of it, right? And being in a location like that. It's not the greatest location, but it's just outside of New York City. You get people from Jersey and everywhere else could come in. People from New York City could go out to there. They just have to do something. They got to figure some things out. There's no excuse for stuff like that. There's no excuse for having turf that's people are tearing ACLs nonstop,
and it's every season it's something, and it's a season-ending injury, and it sucks to see Sterling Shepard go down, being that he was kind of like the only reliable receiver aside from Richie James
and the longest tenured Giant too. So
So I mean that may have been his last game.
Yeah, they're talking about that might have been his last game as a Giant. So yeah.
But, I mean, in general, hopefully he'll still play. I think he's more than capable of still playing, and maybe he'll be able to be on a championship team and try to get that ring. So